John here, obviously. And I'm going to be talking about something that probably I will return to frequently as I have more thoughts on this matter. But today I'm talking about Rule 3 from 12 Rules for Life. Rule 3, for those of you who don't know or might have forgotten, is make friends with people who want the best for you. And I'm going to be exploring a particular interpretation of that rule today, specifically as it regards to men. Now, Rule 3 has a couple of sides to it. The first one is the obvious is make friends with people who want the best for you, because then you will have people around you who help you in your life. The reverse side that Peterson mentions in the book is people who clearly do not want the best for you. Get rid of them. Get them out of your life. And that goes for people who are overtly hostile, as well as people who are indifferent to your success or failure or your prosperity or your suffering. So if somebody just really doesn't care whether you are doing well or not, they got to go. They got to be on the other side of that door and lock the door behind them. Now, the problem specifically for men, and even more specifically for young men, is that we're in a society right now where we're being constantly bombarded with, I would say, feminist messaging that doesn't know that it's feminist, right? That people repeating things or engaging in policy or using common phraseology, they're using phraseology that is feminist, which is to say, of a cult that hates the male. That's what feminism is. It's a cult of hatred for males. And if you want to debate me, that'll be another topic. But that generates a whole lot of rhetoric and a whole lot of domestic policies and educational policies and common turns of phrase. And so we are in a society bombarded with that stuff that is so prevalent that it's sometimes hard to recognize that somebody actually means it has malice towards you. And so in recognizing that, I have for myself a couple of rules that I use for my own life that are like, these are signals to me that you could call them red flags, or you might call them deal breakers, and how you interpret these is going to be up to you. What's your level of patience for the nonsense? How much are you going to allow to wash across your life before you got to go, buddy? I'm a cranky old man. You might be a lot more patient than me. I'm just going to lay them out, and how you deal with these is going to be up to you. And now I've written some notes here, so I'm going to refer to them. You'll see me glancing off to the side. I've got a screen right below my camera where I'm going to read these notes from. All of these are things that I treat as signals that the person either doing them or saying them has contempt for me or means me harm or is indifferent to doing me harm. Maybe casual, not actually care, but through that lack of care would put me in harm's way with no second thought and not bother too much about it. And people like that, I want out of my life. I want to not work with them. I'll not be friends with them, not let them get on the elevator with me, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to recommend that you at least look at these as warning signs, if not entirely deal breakers. So all of them are really demeaning. All of these things are demeaning, but the first rule is anybody who demeans you, anybody who either directly or indirectly, say, for example, makes jokes that the punchline of the joke is to demean your humanity. That person's got to go. It doesn't matter. Oh, I was only joking. No. The thing about demeaning men, degrading them as a joke, is that it's a joke if it's unusual, like if it's a novel occurrence. But the problem is, in our society, it's not novel at all. So you don't actually get away with the rhetoric that, oh, I was only kidding. I was just a joke. The excuse that it's a joke is not an excuse. That's just nonsense. So anybody who demeans your humanity, and how you determine whether that's demeaning, I guess that's going to be up to you. But if they do, whether directly or as a joke, they got to go. The next is anybody who psychoanalyzes you. Now, a lot of people use psychoanalysis or pseudo-psychoanalysis when they're not actually a trained mental health professional. They will evaluate your personality defects, and they'll frame it as I want to help you. You've got all these issues, and I'm here to help you. I'm the wise guru in some way. And no. If somebody begins psychoanalyzing you in a situation where you didn't invite them to, that is always, in every single circumstance, an attack on you, because psychoanalysis is deeply personal, deeply private, and anybody who just volunteers that and starts, oh, I'm just going to help you, without your explicit, usually seeking of that evaluation, but at least consent, yeah, they got to go. That's just an attack. And if they do it in public in front of other people, that's an attack for the audience. They got to go. Bye-bye. A couple of simple ones. These are probably pretty obvious. Anybody who uses the phrase toxic masculinity in any way other than to make fun of the phrase toxic masculinity, they got to go. Goodbye. You're gone. Get out of here. The last one is anybody who categorizes your opinion based on your skin color, your sex, your sexual preference, or your ethnicity, or any of these other biological categories. Anybody who takes whatever your opinion is on any matter, political, economic, educational, your opinion on nutrition, whatever your opinion is, and everybody has opinions. If they decide to categorize your opinion because of any of these things, your skin color, your ethnicity, your sex, who you want to have sex with, yeah, they can go. Because what they're doing by saying that is saying that you as the individual don't exist. You as the person, whatever your name is, Bob or Bill or Joanna or something, you as the person don't exist. You are merely a placeholder token for the category that they've put your opinion in. So they're exactly stepping on your individuality and your person and making you you're an avatar of your broader category. Well, that's the basis of racism and sexism and all that stuff. And anybody who does that to you can get lost. And, I could go on and on. There's lots more of these. And I'm probably going to return to this topic again in the future. But the last thing I want to say is when you decide that somebody is hostile, because all of these things are psychological warfare. These are all psychological attacks. Anybody who engages in psychological attacks can get lost. But because they're psychological attacks, it's necessary for me to invoke a metaphor here. And you're going to think I'm going way out into the weeds. I'm going to invoke the metaphor of submarine warfare. Submarine warfare is warfare by stealth, right? Like a submarine, when it has a victory, let's say it sinks a ship, a surface vessel that's on the surface, and it's dropping depth charges. I'm using a Second World War metaphor here. The submarine, if it wins, does not then surface and blow off fireworks and go, yeah, hooray, I won. The submarine wins by disappearing into the darkness and sliding quietly away. And that's the metaphor for dumping somebody who engages in psychological warfare, because these are covert aggressions, which is, we go into the metaphor of covert submarine warfare. These are covert attacks on you. They're some of them, the psychological analysis one masquerades as helping. The other ones are direct. Sometimes they masquerade as humor. But all of these are covert aggression. So responding with overt, like the trounce them out of your life and publicly toss them out, what you're doing is providing an opportunity for them to get their hooks back into you if you engage in that, the public throwing them out of your life. Instead, simply remove them quietly from your life and close the door, never letting them know that you have rumbled to their game, and you're just not going to play that game anymore. Because if you go, aha, I've spotted you engaging in this tactic, they're going to game you even more. They're going to engage in more psychological warfare against you, and then you're going to get sucked back in. So yeah, hopefully this is somewhat helpful, and as always, thanks for watching. Special thanks to the people helping support this channel on Patreon and Subscribestar, and I am now beginning to do some, I would say it, not safe for blue pill content on a second tier on my Patreon. The full version of this is going to be on that new tier. You have probably watched the abbreviated version. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and as always, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day.